Stay back! Go back into the depths! No! No! Somebody help me!
Welcome back. I am Russell. I hope you are all well. You are in good health. I am also in good health and in good health. I started a new episode and our episode today is very familiar. I mean, what can I say, the context, but the incident is new, and we actually always hear village incidents, fishing incidents, fish buying incidents, various incidents about fish. But to know how this incident is different, you have to listen from the beginning to the end. Our email address, com@gmail.com, you all know. Very soon we will introduce you to another email address of ours, because many of you know and will be happy to know that we have already launched a website on May 15th and that website is www.b.com. BD. Where you can listen to many favorite episodes and communicate with me in the same way and through that we may change our email address from com@gmail to @b.com now. So our aim was to have our own platform. To talk to everyone from our own place. You all know that there are different streaming platforms in the world. But it is very difficult to find a platform that has only horror content. I don't know if there is one or not. But this is a platform where we want to bring all the horror content of the world in one place. Please pray and we especially request your support so that we can continue this journey. It is very surprising to think that this is our first horror channel and wherever we have worked before, we may have always been associated with many other content. But here, the moment you enter the website, you enter the realm of fear and then you can stay as long as you want. You just have to sign up right now. I will now go to the incident and I want to start today's episode. If you have any good work with our episode today, then definitely let us know in the comment section. Let's not waste time and start our first incident directly. Let's start. Hide in. Seek. You hide, I will find you right. Away. Welcome back. I am Russell. I hope you are all well and in good health. I am also well and in good health. I will go to a new incident. I am reading it as it is written. Assalamu alaikum, dear Russell brother. You all know that after Bangladesh, the people who listen to your content the most are our expatriate brothers and sisters living in the Middle East. This terrible incident today also came from there. My elder brother Muhammad Mizanur Rahman sent me the incident from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. He has been an expatriate in Saudi Arabia for a long time and is currently working in Jeddah. My younger brother Tanzil Hassan Riyad and my nephew Muhammad Siam helped me write this incident. I myself am Zahirul Islam Imran. I am a resident of the Kamrangir Char Madrasapara area of Dhaka and a regular listener of Bostonbot.com. This incident happened in the 90s in 1990, in a village called Golkali in Sakta Union of Karaniganj Upazila of Dhaka district. This Sakta Batala is intertwined with my memories and that memory is unforgettable. I think it was the first time we went to Sakta Batala for an outdoor studio session and we went there to collect facts and a strange incident happened that day. I may narrate that incident some other day. For now, I am going back to the incident. I am reading it as it is written. The person with whom this bone-chilling incident happened is named Nurumia. The end of the month of Bhadra. Bhadra means business is hot and it is raining heavily. The monsoon was in full swing all around. The fields and ghats were submerged in water. That day was the village market day. The road to the market is several kilometers away from Nurumia's house. When Nurumia's mother was going, she repeatedly told her father, Nuru, to run around and bring a big live fish on the way back. And take a look at the shopping at home. While going to the market to shop and chat with acquaintances, Nurumia did not notice that the sun had set in the west by noon. When he woke up, he saw that the sky was very heavy. It was already a new moon that day. There were black clouds like coal in the sky. In an instant, the afternoon light was extinguished and a perfect darkness descended on the market. Nurumia quickly took a large bag of cuttlefish weighing about 5 to 6 kilograms and a heavy bag of rice and lentils and set off for home. But it was already too late. The clouds began to rumble with the sound of rain. On both sides of the village road were vast paddy fields. The path was very muddy due to the rain. In one hand, that heavy bag of live fish. In the other hand, an old hurricane. The yellow light of the hurricane pierced the darkness and reached only 2 or 3 hands. Not even an inch more. In that light, the raindrops were glistening like silver threads. The surroundings were as silent as a crematorium, only the continuous chirping of insects and the croaking of frogs made that silence even more terrifying. The road to Nurumia's house was not straight at all. After walking quite a distance, he would have to cross the infamous Hijaltala field. The infamy of that field was known to everyone in the surrounding villages, and as soon as he left that field, there was a huge old bamboo grove on the outskirts of the village. Walking through that bamboo grove alone during the day was exhausting. And today, on this night of disaster, Nurumia had to walk that way with an almost dead hurricane in his hand. He turned up the hurricane's light a little and stepped towards the Hijaltala field. The more he moved forward, the more the pain in his chest grew. It felt as if someone from within this darkness was watching him with one look and silently following him. In Nurumia's words, that flawless darkness had its own weight. It felt like someone was pressing a heavy stone on her chest. Suddenly, right where the edge of the hurricane's light ended, Romia saw a man in the darkness. His chest heaved. But upon looking closely, he saw a large black umbrella in one hand and a burning hurricane in the other. The man was none other than Radan Mia from the neighboring village. Radan Mia was selling fried rice at the market. Seeing a familiar face brought life back to Nuru Mia's chest. He shouted loudly, "Oh Radan Bhai, I'm Nuru." Hearing the call, the man in front stopped for a moment. He turned around and looked at Nurumia once. But the blurry light of the hurricane and the drizzle made his face hard to see. The man didn't say anything. He just nodded his head in agreement. Nurumia went closer and said, "You saved a lot, brother." What was scary was being alone. "Were you late at the market today too?" Radan Mia didn't answer. He just raised the hurricane in his hand a little. Nurumia thought that maybe he couldn't hear it because of the rain, or maybe he was tired from the whole day's work. The two started walking side by side. But after going a little far, a feeling of unease began to grow inside Nurumia. The road was muddy and patchy, and he was slipping every few steps. But Radan Mia's walking style was very strange. He was walking on that slippery road as if a Muslim was walking on a tar road. It seemed that his feet were not even touching the ground. He was sliding forward with strange speed over the mud. Just then the wind changed direction. With that gust of wind, a strong rotten smell hit Nurumia's nose. That smell was like old rotten meat. And with it was the intense, fierce fragrance of hosna and henna flowers. Where would the smell of laughter come from in this open field? The smell seemed to be coming from the body of the man in front of him. The hairs on Nurumia's body stood on end in fear. Still, he tried to remain normal. He said, "Brother, the market wasn't very crowded today, was it?" A few seconds of silence. Then a word came out of Radin Mia's throat. But that voice wasn't Radin Mia's. It was very heavy and mechanical, as if echoing from a deep steamy well. Radin Mia answered without turning his head. By that time, they had entered that deep bamboo garden. Where the sun can't shine during the day, at night it seems like a monster is sitting there, laughing. The bus was making a strange catch-catch sound as it came right in the middle of the garden. In the blurry reddish light of the hurricane, Nurumia saw a scene. Radin Mia's shadow in front of him, after falling to the ground, became unusually long, touching the bamboo grove. No human shadow could be like that. Nurumia called out in a trembling voice, "Why are you standing there, brother?" Radin Mia in front of him now turned his back to Nurumia, and without turning his head, he said in a deep voice, "Give me the fish, Nurumia, my aunt will eat it." As soon as he heard that, Nurumia's gaze fell to his feet. He saw that his feet were not touching the ground on the muddy road. Nurumia realized that by now he was not walking with a human, but with a fish-eating demon. Just then, a familiar high-pitched voice came from behind. "What are you talking to there, Nurumia?" Standing there, looking back, Nurumia saw Radin Bai standing there holding a bicycle. He was holding a large flashlight. The light fell on Nurumia's face. If Radin Bai is behind, who is in front? Nurumia looked forward in utter terror and saw the man with the lantern slowly turning his head towards him. There was a cracking sound like a bone breaking. The face was like Radin Kaka's, but it was pale like that dead man. He didn't remember. That hideous face looked at Nurumia and smiled a hellish smile. Then, before he could blink, he threw the hurricane in his hand and floated away into the darkness of the bamboo grove. Just before the demon disappeared from the bamboo grove, he said one last thing to Nurumia, "I will come again. I didn't give you the fish. This time, I will take you." Quote. These words were like a piece of ice embedded in Nurumia's chest. Nurumia couldn't bear it any longer. The bag in his hand fell into the mud. He gave a terrible scream and fell unconscious there. The next day, when Nurumia regained consciousness, he found himself in his own bed. His mother was sitting next to him crying. It was later learned that Radin Mia had called the villagers after seeing Nurumia delirious. Nurumia had a fever of 104 degrees, and in the heat of the fever, he said only one thing. Auntie took the fish and ate it. Her eyes were yellow. 3 days later, when the fever subsided, Radin Mia came to see Nurumia. Nurumia asked, "Brother, how did you come behind the bamboo garden that day?" Radin Mia said with a pale face, "Hey Nuru, I didn't go to the market that day. I went to my eldest daughter's-in-law's house in the neighboring village." Quote, "On the way back, I saw you, by the light of the torch in the field at Hijaltala, looking at the bamboo garden alone and whispering to someone. I called you many times, but you didn't answer." The most mysterious thing happened the next morning. When the bag left by Nurumia was recovered, it turned out that the rice and pulses that had been purchased were all there. but there was no trace of the 5 to 6 kilogram live cuttlefish. Only a few large ashes were scattered around the bag. And next to it was the rusty, broken hayari can that no one in the village had. After that, Nurumiya's behavior began to change completely. As soon as night fell, she would suddenly start panting. Sometimes she would scream in her sleep. "No, no fish, I won't give it to you." The most terrifying thing was that in the middle of the night, the smell of raw fish would often spread inside her house. Even though there was no fish in the house. The incident of the third night, Nurumiya's entire family was completely terrified after that incident. Late that night, Nurumiya's mother suddenly heard her son talking to someone. Peeking from behind the door, she saw Nurumiya sitting on the bed and looking at the window, shaking her head. And outside the window, 2 yellow eyes were burning in the darkness. Seeing this scene, everyone in the house ran to Nurumiya's mother's scream. But everyone came and saw only Nurumiya. She was still whispering, "Today, tomorrow, Dimu." Then the elders of the family decided that there was nothing more to be done. Then a Hoosier from Atibazar village in Karanaiganj was called. Hoosier first looked at Nurumiya and fell silent. He closed his eyes for a while and recited a prayer. Then he said, "This is not an ordinary jinn. This is a gluttonous demon jinn. It takes something from whoever it catches. If it doesn't give it, it takes it away." Quote, then Nurumiya's family asked, "What is the solution to this?" Then Hoosier said, "There is a solution." Arrangements were made that night. Salt was sprinkled all over the house. Papers with prayers written on them were put on the door. Hoosier himself started to perform Ruqya on Nurumiya. Suddenly Nurumiya's body started shaking. Then a different voice came out of Nurumiya's mouth. "I will not let go of this hoarse and irrational one. The fish is mine." Quote, Hoosier started reciting a prayer in a loud voice. Suddenly, a loud scream seemed to shake the whole house. Nurumiya fell down and fainted. And with it, the rotten smell disappeared from the house. The next morning, Hazor took everyone to the Hijaltala field, where the bag was found. The soil was dug up in the exact place. Rotten fish heads and thorns were found. Hazor closed the place as he liked. Before he left, he said only one thing. That eating demon has not gone completely yet. But it will not come towards this village again. Inshallah. If anyone goes to that field alone again, trust in Allah. Since then, Nurumiya gradually recovered. This Nurumiya is still alive and healthy. This was the heartbreaking true story that happened to Nurumiya. I hope it will be broadcast on Kareeb.com channel. This is how he ended his story. Zahirul Islam Imran, you regularly send us stories. Thank you very much. On our behalf, I hope to receive your stories in the future. We will move on to our next incident. You hide. And seek, I will find you. Boot.com with self. Welcome back. I welcome you all. I am Russell. I hope you are all well. You are in the good group. I am also well and I am in the good group. I will go to a new incident. I am reading it as it is written. Assalamu alaikum Russell brother and dear listeners. I hope everyone is well and healthy. My name is Anik Pseudonym. I live in Brahmanbaria. I am now enrolled in the first year of honors. I have been listening to your boot.com for many years. Today I am going to tell you an incident that happened to me. This is the first incident I have sent, so please forgive me if there are any mistakes in the writing. For some personal reasons, I do not want to say where the incident happened. The time was 2023. After Qurbani Eid, my aunts and I went to visit different houses. We were together at Nanu's house, about 15 to 16 cousins. The house was quite bustling with the festive atmosphere and everyone present. Nanu's house had 2 rooms, one an old tin house and the other a building. The new building had sleeping arrangements for mother, aunt and the rest of the cousins. On the other hand, Nanu lived in the old house. There was a room at the very end of the old house which we called the balcony room. When I went to Nanu's house, I always liked to be alone in that room. But the location of the room was a bit creepy. There was an abandoned pond right behind the house, and the jungle was right next to it, where it was scary to go alone even in the light of day. The days after Eid were spent in great conversation. Like every day, we cousins were chatting on the roof of the building. It was almost 3 in the morning while chatting. Since I was tired, I said goodbye to everyone and went to my balcony room and lay down. As soon as I lay down on the bed, a deep sleep came over my eyes. But that sleep did not last long. After a while of sleeping, I was suddenly awakened by a strange, heavy and hoarse groan. It felt like someone was writhing in pain very close. As soon as I opened my eyes, a cold current ran through my head. My chest heaved. My hands and feet instantly turned to ice. Believe me, I don't know the words to describe what I saw. Standing at my feet was a huge, hunched black figure. There was no way to tell if it was a human or a monster. Its body was so tall that its head was trying to break through the roof of the house and come out. A foul stench spread throughout the house, like the putrid smell of an old corpse. In the darkness, that monstrous shadow figure stood still. None of its eyes were visible, but I could feel it staring at me. I wanted to scream with all my might, but it felt like an invisible hand was squeezing my throat. Not a single word came out of my mouth. I tried to move with all my strength, but it felt like someone was tying my hands or iron chains to the bed. A vague feeling engulfed me. Death seemed to be dancing before my eyes. I closed my eyes tightly in fear. Subconsciously, I started to call out the name of Allah and recite Ayatul Kursi in my mind. My heart was pounding so hard that it felt like my ribs would break and my heart would come out. I don't know how long I fought that horror. Suddenly, the sound of the call to prayer for dawn came from afar. As soon as I heard that holy sound, the heavy air in the room started to lighten. That heavy stone fell from my chest. Gathering courage, I opened my eyes. I saw that the room was completely empty. There was no black statue on that long body. There was no rotten smell either. But the strange thing was that the door and window of the room were fixed from the inside and no one from outside could come in until I opened the door and window from the inside. So how did that figure come about? Since that morning, I have never dared to sleep alone in that room. Even today, when I am alone at night, the figure of that huge black shadow appears before my eyes. This was my story. I hope you liked it. If you like this story of mine, then let me know. This is how he ended his story. I hope you like this story. If you like it, definitely let me know in the comments section. We will move on to our next story. Play hide and seek, you will hide.
I will definitely find you. Welcome. Back. To .com cell.
I welcome you all, I am Russell. I hope you are all well, in the good group. I am also well and in the good group. I will go to a new story. I am reading it as it is written. Namaskar Russell Bhai, I hope you are well. I am Himal Sarkar, a resident of Madanpur area of Nadia district, West Bengal state, India. I am a regular listener of Bhutan. Before going to sleep at night, I cannot sleep unless I hear the story in your voice. Without saying much, I will go to the story. I heard the incident from my mother. The incident happened to my uncle, about 30 to 35 years ago. At that time, my mother's mother was about 10 years old. My mother lived in her uncle's house. Electricity had not yet reached the village. My mother's uncle, that is, my grandfather, bought hilsa fish from a distant market one night and was returning home with it hanging in his hand. It was pitch dark all around. Grandfather was returning home along a dirt road. At that time, he felt a tug on the fish in his hand. Grandfather looked back and saw that no one was there. He thought that something might have gotten stuck. He went home without thinking about anything else. After reaching home, Dita cut the fish well and cooked it. Everyone ate and fell asleep. Suddenly, Dita woke up in the middle of the night. She saw that grandfather was not at home. She thought that he might have gone to the toilet and come back. Thinking this, she fell asleep again. Let me tell you another story. There was a pond behind one of my grandfather's houses. My other grandfather, who lived in the next house, suddenly woke up. He heard a loud noise from the pond. He went out of the house with a torch and went to the pond. He was really scared when he saw what he saw. He saw a figure taking my grandfather up to his waist in water and trying to drown him. At that moment, my grandfather screamed. At his scream, 2 more people from the neighboring house came out with torches. They came and tried to pull my grandfather out of the water. But even the 3 of them could not lift my grandfather out of the water. My grandfather was pulled out after a long time. After being pulled out, my grandfather lost consciousness. The next morning, a good poet was called. After chanting a mantra for a while, he asked my mother's younger father to hold a big mirror in front of my grandfather's face. As he said, my younger grandfather held the mirror in front of my grandfather's face, and everyone was really scared. Everyone saw that instead of my grandfather's face, another person's face appeared in the mirror. Everyone recognized him. He was a person from my grandfather's neighborhood, who died about 4 years ago. Kabiraj Mashai asked, "Why is he doing this?" In response, the Karinjan inside Dadu started talking. The previous night, when Dadu brought fish, he had caught and dragged the fish. Dadu should have left the fish there. But he brought them home, cooked them and ate them. In that anger, he took Dadu to the pond to kill him. Then Kabiraj Mashai recited a mantra and swept away the jinn from Dadu's body. And since the little Dadu was holding the mirror, he became mute for 2 days. Since then, everything has been fine. Dadu died in the 5th year. So this was the incident. Maybe the writing has become a little big. I wrote it for the first time. Please forgive me if there are any mistakes. This is how he ended his incident. I hope you like this incident. If you like it, please let us know. We will move on to our next incident. Welcome back. I welcome you all. I hope you are all well and in the good company. I am also fine. I am in the good group and I want to know how you felt about today's events. Hafiz is writing from Oman. Sabir is with us from Jawain. The first incident of this incident that you will hear today, many of you may have joined later, You will hear later that this incident is actually related to my personal, what should I say, moments. When I first did an outdoor show, some incidents happened on the first day, and the first incident today was about the place where the incident happened. It is very strange. Maya is with us from Rajshahi, Zahid is from Saudi, Mustaqim is from Malaysia, Zubair from Satkia, Sadia from Narayanganj is with us. Apurba is from Siliguri. Apurba, I told you to send stories, but today I told you the story of West Bengal. I will get it later, so I think we will get the story of Siliguri, the stories of those who are friends from Siliguri very soon. Thank you for joining regularly. Money is with us from Narayanganj. Also with us from Saudi Arabia is Nurshi from Noakhali. Also with us from Sylhet is Gungan from Tangail. Aslam is with us from Italy. Aryu is with us from Rajshahi. Zipu is with us from Mymensingh. Sabir is with us from Dhaka Jarain. Zubair is watching from Satkhira. Yusuf is with us from Natori Rajapur. Jihad is with us from Malaysia. Maruf is with us from Kuwait. The Middle East incident today, I mean you all must have heard, and I was actually very worried about the Middle East issue, and I am still worried. This problem really needs to go away. Because, it feels very different to think that if I don't come with such pressure in my head, I will just listen to the incident with fun. Ramzan is with us from Libya. Muhammad Fahim Hassan is with us from Dubai. Israfil is with us. Arabi is with us from Sylhet. Anyway, we also have friends and relatives who are in the Middle East. This is our family. This is a big family of Calm. This family has many of our listeners. They live in different countries of the Middle East. So, there is a lot of worry, and there is no way to get rid of this worry. I only pray that you can solve the problem very soon, or that the problem is solved. Many of you know that you must have prepared for Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Adha. Some will go from Dhaka to outside Dhaka, and some will come to Dhaka from outside Dhaka. In fact, they will come or return to their loved ones. Some will go from outside the country to the country just to spend Eid. So, as I pray that your journey during Eid will be auspicious, at the same time, I ask you to take some precautions that you should be as careful as you need to be to keep yourself safe. The thing about the market is that you yourself should be a little careful even at those times when you expect to go to the market. At this time, markets are held in different places and various kinds of incidents are heard there. It seems to me that one's own safety, one's own life come first and then everything else. In fact, if you are alive, everything happens. If you are alive, bad times pass. If you are alive, you can move forward. If you are alive, you can actually touch the dream that you have after overcoming the crisis. So, survival is very important, and the fact that you are alive is actually the biggest motivation to fight again, to move forward again. All of you stay well, stay healthy. Those who have given us time so far, your precious time. Thank you for that. I hope we will talk again this Tuesday. Until then, I hope everyone will stay with boot.com. Just like you will visit our Facebook page, our YouTube, you will also visit our website www.boot.com.bd, and if you want to visit it, it is very easy, but www.booth.com is. Less than www.boot.com.bd, which is very easy. You guys should visit the website and see how I have designed it. If you have any suggestions, please email me. Many of you actually have a lot of ideas about this website or CRM. So if you have any opinions, please let me know your valuable opinions. Because this website is not just my website, I believe. It is our website, and it is very important to make it good or better. And that is why you should help me with your valuable opinions. We are leaving today, saying goodbye. We will be back again, inshallah, this Tuesday. Until then, everyone stay well, stay healthy, stay with mostimportantly.com. Allah Hafez. Oh,